Okay, Owen, this is take 3 of this lesson. Hopefully everything works out this time. Okay, so we're going to go over the grade 4, module 6, end of module assessment, okay? All right, it says RDW, I wrote that up here for the redraw right method. So in each single one of these problems, you want to keep that in mind. The most important part is read directions carefully. You see, I've already made some indications here. Okay, number 1, decompose each fraction into hundredths using the area models. These are the area models. Then, this is the most important part right here, then write the equivalent number sequence using decimal. Okay, I circled a lot for then because you can see the area models out. They gave you obviously write the fraction. They did not leave decimal using decimals. Not the direction. That part you would have points taken off. Okay, so I say that because your math is making sure that you follow the directions. Okay, so here we go. First part of this, decompose each fraction. You have 8/10. Let's show what 8/10 looks like by shading. Remember, shade with the side of your pencil. You shade with the tip or the point. It's going to go right over those subdivisions, and you will see the teacher will be able to see how the area model is divided. So you want to make sure you shade, but that you shade light enough to see the pre-drawn lines, okay? So you're going to shade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? Liberal with this. Clean it up with an eraser. There we go. So far you have your 8/10, correct? All right. Now you're going to shade the hundredths model, okay? And again, I'm using the side of my pencil. So essentially when you're done, these two models are going to look almost identical, but you will count this one by hundredths instead of 10. So we're going to count it together. Okay, so here we have 10, 30, so 100, 10 to make is 8/10 equals 80 hundredths. Literally, the only difference is I add that 0 in hundredths place. They're the exact same number, right? Okay, this is a little more interesting. Okay, so you have 18/10. If that's hard to see, I apologize. I don't know how much lower I can make my camera. Okay, here we go. So I'm going to first shade 10/10 completely, okay? Then I'm going to shade 8 more. I'm going to clean it up with my eraser. Okay, so this is 18 tenths. 1 and 10 plus 8 more tenths, 8 tenths. Now I'm going to do model. So I shade 1 whole or 100 hundredths plus 80 more, right? So altogether 180 hundredths. Okay, where do I get 180 hundredths from? Okay, so this entire thing is 100 hundredths. Then I have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 more hundredths shaded. So 180 is 180, right? 180 hundredths. Now, the problem here, or not the problem, but the tricky part about this one is that you cannot write 18 tenths unless you use a mixed number with decimals, right? You have to show 1 whole and 8 tenths. 1 whole is 1 is completely filled out, right? 10 0.8, right? 1 and 8 tenths equals 1 whole or 100 hundredths and 80 hundredths. Right? So this is my equivalent decimal number sentence. 18 tenths equals 180 hundredths, or 1 and 8 tenths equals 1 and 80 hundredths. Make sense to you? Okay. Now let's move on. Okay, decompose each fraction into hundredths. Then, anytime you see the then, circle it, underline it, highlight it, whatever you need to do to remember to come back to it. Then write the equivalent number sentence for each part using decimals. Why do I say that? Because again, they made it very obvious you need to do something here, right? You have to complete this number sentence using fractions, but then they didn't make like a nice blank or anything with a line to make it obvious that you need to go on and write the equivalent number sentence. I just think the format is a little tricky. Okay, so I want to always set you up for success. Okay, all right, so if 2 tenths, you know that if you are going to decompose that fraction into hundredths, all that means is instead of having tenths in the denominator, you're going to make hundredths in the denominator. So if you multiply 10 times 10 to 100, you're now going to multiply 2 to get what? Numerator. 20. Remember, when you're working with fractions, the top number is your numerator, the bottom number is your denominator. Okay? You've now decomposed the fraction. Then you need to write the equivalent number sentence for each part using decimals. Okay, so perfect. Here is 2 tenths, right? Decimal, and then it's equals, that's this part, 20 hundredths. Okay, now, all I need to remember with decimals is that my having a place value chart going in reverse. So after the decimal point, you have tenths, hundredths, thousandths, and so on, right? Okay, just coming all back to you. I know it's been a week without me, so here we go. 5/10, part 1 decomposed into hundredths. 5/10 is going to be 50 hundredths, right? These are equivalent fractions. 5/10 is the simplified fraction, but they're asking you to decompose it, break it up, that's all decompose means, into hundredths. So in your imagination, take your tenths, subdivide them into hundredths. Now you have 50 hundredths, right? Or the way I was taught is that I needed to multiply my denominator by 10 to get to hundredths. So I also need to multiply my numerator by 10, and 5 times 10 would give me 50. Okay? Either way you want to think about that is going to get you in the same place. It's going to get you the same answer. Okay? All right. Now we need to then write the equivalent number sentence for each decimal. Okay? So that's how I write 5/10 in decimal form. Okay? Then I put my equal sign. That's how I write 50 hundredths in decimal form. I literally just add a 0, which was implied here anyway. Really, I could add a million zeros and it's going to give me the same value, but I say it differently, okay? Okay, that doesn't make sense to you just yet. You're welcome to ask me any questions. You can email me or comment under the YouTube video, all right? And I'll try to clear that up for you. But just remember, if you're in tenths, you're going to only do one place value to the right of your decimal point. If they ask for hundredths, you're going to need to go 2 decimal point or 2 places to the right after your decimal point. Okay? Okay. Number 2 says several points are plotted on the number lines below. Identify the decimal number associated with each point. Okay. Here's what they need you to understand for this point. Remember when I said, if you have a line plot, you don't necessarily know what each hash mark is. They're going to give you points of reference that now help you to determine which each hash mark is, okay? What's its unit of measure, okay? So start at 0 here, okay? Now you can see their first point of reference is 5/10. Moving on, you see 1 whole. This, if it's unclear to you, it looks a little blurry on my screen, is 1.5 or 1 5/10. And I gave away the answer right there because this is the 3rd time I'm recording your video. But over here is their actual point of reference, which is 2. If I see 0 here and 1 here and a 0.5 here or 5/10 here, I can determine that each one of these hash marks is 1/10, right? 0.1, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5. Make sense? I'm going to write it out. And even if it didn't make sense before, once I finish writing it out, it should. When I write hash marks out, I write them sideways to give myself plenty of room. That's going to become more important when you have several digits in your number, okay? Because if you have a 5-digit number and you're trying to write it, okay? So that's what I'm going to do, okay? This is a pro tip, a hack, if you will. All right. First is 1/10, right? That's my first hash mark. My second hash mark So I have 1/10, 2/10, 3/10, 4/10, and 5/10 is already written for me. That gives me my first point I need to identify, which is A. Point A is 4/10. So I fill in the blank. Okay? I can keep writing each one of these. 6/10, 7/10, 8/10, 9/10, 10/10 equals 1 whole. So that's why they wrote 1 here. From here on, I'm going to have 1 and, right? So point B is 1 and 1/10. This would be 1 and 2/10, 1 and 3/10, 1 and 4/10. And then we get to our next point of reference that was already there for us, which is 1 and 5/10. I'll continue in a moment, but let's go back and fill in point B is 1 and 1/10. Are you following along with me? Okay. Now, if I continue on this line, this is going to be 1.5, 1.6, and I'm saying 1 point. You know that the correct way to say it is 1 and 6/10. Okay. 1.7, 1.8, or 1 and 8/10 is point C. Okay. All right. Below, you have another line plot. This line plot may not be divided the same way that this one is, right? So you have to determine what each hash mark is, or what each hash mark's unit of measure is. I'm going to give you a hint. You see, first of all, that you're starting not at 0, but a whole number, 3. Okay? So 3 and 6,500, right? Anytime you see that it gives you to the hundredths place, there's a good chance that your hash marks are going to be broken up into hundreds. Not always, but that's a very good chance, okay? All right, so you're going to determine points E and F by yourself. I'm going to help you by going with point B, okay? And then you'll do E and F on your own. So this is 3 and 6,500, and I see over here is 3 and 7/10, or in my brain, what I'm going to do is add a 0, and I can see 70 hundredths, right? I can see that, oh, okay, unit of measure, or these each mark is 1/100. Did I get that? Well, because if I fill it in, I get to their first point of reference. So 3, 500, 3, and 6,600, 3.67, 3.68, 3.69 gives me what they've already provided, 3.70. Okay, so that leaves D, my coordinate at D is 3.67, or 3 and 6,700. Okay, you're going to determine E and F on your own. Okay, and then you're going to write those answers or type those answers, whichever you prefer, and reply to me either through email or text so that I can tell that you understand, okay? And I'll go ahead and send a picture of this line plot so that you don't have to keep this video rolling, okay? I'll send a still picture along with this assignment. All right, bud, I'm so glad you're feeling better, and I miss you tons. Let me know if you have any questions, okay?